this is crazy. This is nuts. This is not the way you were raised. This is not the life that this is not why you were created. You know, God doesn't have you here to do this to yourself. You know, but with addiction, man, I couldn't stop. Somebody once told me that you don't mix cocaine and crystal meth. It'll kill you. Well, I thought that sounded like a good high to me. I think it was in my DNA. My mother is a drug addict. My father has a gambling addiction. My grandfather is was an alcoholic when he was alive. Uh, I have a brother who's a drug addict. I grew up in South Phoenix, off of 16th Street and Rozier in that area. I grew up in the 70s, so yeah, I would say it was, everybody smoked marijuana. And as far as alcohol, I mean, it was common too. You know, Friday afternoons, you know, it was a working class neighborhood. You get off work and buy some beer and go home and drink. Maybe the first couple of weeks, the first month, I would call that the honeymoon phase. But I mean, it didn't, like I said, it only lasted a couple of weeks or so. I kept trying to recapture that feeling, so I kept drinking, and then I kept, you know, getting high to get that feeling again, but it never came back. Mm-hmm. Oh, I knew it was a problem. Like the first time I tried cocaine, I knew that night it was gonna be a problem. You know, I would say that I was addicted the first time I did it. The straw that broke the camel's back. Me and my wife at the time, we separated, and I found myself, I was living at a friend's house in a trailer in his backyard. You know, this is what your life has come to. I couldn't stop drinking. I couldn't stop getting high. Like I said, even though I'm living in this tiny trailer in somebody's backyard, my wife is ready to leave. She filed for divorce, and this was the reason why, but I still kept doing it. I was planning my whole life around drinking and getting high. You know, when I made a financial budget, drugs and alcohol was in the budget. I was tired of it. I was tired of the way it made me feel. I was tired of the effects it was having on my life, you know, my job, my relationships, how much money it was costing. I tried to stop several times. You know, like I said, I had the little tricks, you know, I'm only gonna take a certain amount of money to the bar, and I'm gonna leave the rest in the car and leave it at home. Or I don't even think I was trying to stop. I think I was just trying to control it. I maybe go a week or 10 days, but after that it was back to my old lifestyle. There's a song. There's a guy. His name is Kim, Kem, and he has a song called Heaven. And one of the lyrics in the song is, the man I used to be is gone. He gave up his life so I could move on. I had to die. That person had to die in order for me to grow. And you know, one thing when I listen to other addicts, and I mean, I don't care if it's chemicals, gambling, sex, food, whatever. They all seem to have, there's always one thing in common. There's always something inside of them that seems to be missing. and they try to fill that void with some outside substance. But God's love is there to fill that void. You don't have to fill that with drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, or whatever. You got to depend on God, for your strength and your power. I mean, you just have to know that, the scriptures tell us that we were made in His image. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. You wasn't made to be a drug addict, an alcoholic. If you find yourself in that situation, I'm telling you, there's nothing that you can do in your power to fix it. It's only through God's grace and mercy that you can be healed and this thing can be turned around. People talk about the grace of God, man, but I tell you, if the road that I was on, it was only the grace of God.